All right, just wait a couple seconds. Two. Hello, everyone. This is the Kim Aquino Show. I don't have a name yet, but welcome to our interview with Canajan Inc. And she is one of the best cleaning and disinfecting services in the city. So, this is a very special guest I want to bring up to you guys because it's very important that we maintain a proper procedure and health procedures in our everyday lives, as well as making sure that we're well informed and well educated on the things that we may not know what's happening. So, without further ado, this is Lorephil of Canajan Inc.
Good morning, everyone, and good morning, Facebook lovers. And Kim, thank you so much for inviting me to your show.
Awesome, awesome. So, what I wanted to do is just talk about a little bit of what made you start your cleaning services. What was that light bulb moment that got you to realize, hey, this is what I need to do. This is something I really believe in, and I think it can help a lot of people.
Okay, so I was started in this business since 2013. So at that time, I came here in Canada as an immigrant, and I was introduced to this business because at that time I feel homesick with my family. So my daughter at that time is 2 years old, and my son is 11 month old. So he's breastfed with me. So it's hard for me to get out of that homesickness. That's why somebody introduced me to this business, and she said that why don't you just do cleaning wh- uh, while just staying at home and missing your family and your kids. And then yeah, so I tried it, and then when I tried it, it makes me feel forget what's going on, what's my mental state, and then I felt good. And while I'm doing a cleaning, I am dreaming myself, because I am a visionary woman. I'm dreaming myself that someday this house is with me and together with my family. Until in 2016, I make it as a hustle income, so as my part-time income. So I went into medical field in 2016, and at the same time I'm doing cleaning services at the same time. So in 2008, 2019, that's the time that I made a decision that I'm gonna do this one as my full-time job, since I'm managing my own time, and I can see myself that this is me. That's why I went into cleaning business. And yeah.
Awesome. And what would you say is the uh, top two hardest things when you started your cleaning company?
Oh, because when I was 16 years old, I'm have an entrepreneurial mindset. So it's
Yep.
like I'm just go, 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 go without, I don't know what's the rules even here in Canada.
Let's do it.
So when I start doing in 2013, I my first barrier is language, because English is my second language, and it's hard for me to communicate with the clients, especially in different nation. Like I have my Canadian clients, in East Indian. So it's hard for me to communicate what are their expectations. That's why in 2016 I invest myself. Like I'm doing some IELTS. I doing some IELTS class just to improve my English and of course my comprehension. And then aside from that one, it's hard for me to familiarize all kinds of chemicals, because it's not easy to just spray something into the something that you don't know, like bleach. You
Yeah.
cannot use that one in the wood, because the wood might paint. So that's why it's that's the big struggle for me. But as the time comes, I studied these chemicals and also the rules of regulations of the government, that of course I need to pay my taxes, and what are the rights and responsibilities of the clients, and of course me as a contractor to them, because I need to go to their houses. So it is there is a privacy information that I should not disclose anything. So it helps me being in a medical field. that, and I apply it into a cleaning business.
Okay, awesome. And tell us a little bit more about your medical background, your medical cleaning background. How does that have a difference from what you do now and from what you did then? And what did you take away from that that is super applicable to what you have going on right now?
Okay. Because when I came into the medical field, I became a medical office assistant. So I assisting some surgeons and some part-time doctors, assisting patients like dealing with the MRSA, with tuberculosis, and some that uh, infected, and we're usually dealing with the post-operative procedures and new patients before they get into the hospital. So that one helps me how to get the importance of the contaminations. Like we're not touching something that we don't
Yeah,
know, right?
yeah,
Because we don't know what kind of biological things from that one. For example, we deal some MRSA patients. So this one is very contagious disease, like this coronavirus. So we
yeah.
are very careful on how we clean that one. So I made into training on how we sanitize the whole bedding and what kind of chemicals we are using. So that's why, for me, on this kind of new services that I am launching in your show, is easy for me because I'm already familiar what kind of chemicals I've been using. Because coronavirus is contagious. So if we're not
Yeah.
very careful and we are not aware what's on it and how it transfer from one organism to another, then we're gonna get sick. That's why I'm so happy that I'm gonna launch this one to help to solve people's problem and how to help them how to kill these viruses.
Definitely. And I really like that insight because sometimes, let's say, for example, if we were to just see like some blood on the ground, we think, hey, let's just get a paper towel, put some dish soap, and then kind of wipe it away. I'm pretty sure there's more to that. And would you say it would be, is there a big difference between, let's say, cleaning up blood and making sure that maybe there's no bloodborne diseases that are contained in that thing? How do we know that we for sure know that it's clean? And this is coming from people who are your day-to-day household kind of people. Like if we're at home, what can we do? What's the difference?
Okay, this is what I learned in a medical field. Don't assume something you don't know where it is come from, whether it's used or not. Just take it as a dirty one. So very important to wash your hands because the 20 seconds that you are rubbing your hands using the soap, that bubble will kill the cover of the virus. So the core of the virus, that's the one that make people sick because
Okay,
it will grow. It will grow from one to another and it will damages on your cells. So that's why people get sick because of that core. So as what I learned in a medical field, on every task that what you're doing is you need to wash your hands. So that's what I learned, and I'm applying that one in cleaning in not only residential but also commercial because um, I don't want to make people sick because of me. So my big why of this, why I'm doing these cleaning services, is not only make your life easier but make your life more safe. That's why I have a big why to launch these new services to help more people not getting sick. I'm into senior citizens. That's why I have this. I'm helping these nonprofit organizations. It called a Drive for Happiness because I am into senior citizen. So that's why I'm offering them a free disinfecting services because I don't wanna make people sick. So especially the senior citizen. So that's why um, I studied for 2 days on how we build these disinfecting services, and I need to have a very critical training for my staff, enable them to apply it to the to the services to the people that we're serving for.
Okay. Yeah. And I really like that because when you have really strong values where, okay, you need to make sure that the procedures are being worked on to the T, and then you're able to duplicate that with the staff, that's really important because the reputation and just your services is it goes a long way. And the last thing you want to do is have that responsibility that like, okay, if something were to happen, uh, it's going to trace back. So it's great that you have that kind of mentality because you never know, and it's always good to always assume like once an object or something is touched, you have to assume that it's already contaminated or already infected. So for me, if because I'm a skeptic, if I were to go to the grocery store and
Mhm.
go pick up some groceries, I would go out with a mask and some rubber gloves. So if I were to, let's say I'm leaving the store and I have the groceries and I'm going to go to my car, would it be better to take out my gloves and then open the car door, put my bags in, and then put in new gloves? And then would I have to wipe down the plastic bags from the groceries? Do you think that's a little excessive, or is there to what extent is there to be too safe or too excessive?
Okay, that's a very good question, Kim. So as what I observe to these people on, because they don't know how to proper using of disposable gloves. So first of all, they should have a two pair of
Okay.
disposable gloves. So it should be one on the left and one on the right. So they should not be combined, because you never know who is clean after you doing some tasks and who is contaminated. So yeah, so you should always have a two pair of gloves. So once you're the and even me, I never use phone while I'm doing grocery stores, because
Okay.
sometimes we forget something, right? And then we pick
Yeah.
up the phone, and then our phone got contaminated already. So as much as possible, if you cannot use your phone while you're doing grocery, don't do it, because you never know. Sometimes we forget something, especially it's not our habit, right? And me, I already did that one for 2 years, like wearing gloves, wash hands, wearing gloves, wash hands. So I knew already. But if it's not in your habit, don't bring your phone while you're doing grocery. Bring and for the phone, and as much as possible, if you're paying, as much as possible, don't pay cash, because cash might be contaminated. So if you have a tap on your debit, just use tap, or use gloves while doing that one. And after that one, so because your debit card might be contaminate, so just make sure you have your own small bag and put all the contaminated on that small bag. So it's a habit as well. And then
Okay.
once you get into the car, so make sure you take off the gloves, and then put that contaminated gloves in the plastic bag. Open the door and make sure on the door you have your hand sanitizer and the wipes, wet wipes.
Okay.
So so after you open the door, so uh, just put your hand sanitizer and make sure everything, it might not kill 100% bacteria in your hands, but at least it lessen, and there is an effectivity for that one. And after that one, get the wipes and wipe your door, and then make sure that clean hands, that's the one that you will use to close the door. And then after that one, just get the other clean gloves and wear it. So that's what I'm doing. And after that, well, once I know it's kind of a big job, but
Yeah, it
it
is.
is for your safety, especially if you're senior or vulnerable. So every detail you should be how do you call it, be critical for that one.
Yeah.
Because this is very crucial, right? And so once you get in, so I know you have a clean gloves, but you need to take it out and another sanitize again.
Mm.
Yes. So that we want to make sure. that there is no viruses coming, because sometimes we never know that we accidentally touch these gloves, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes if we tap ourselves, so it might contaminate it, right? But if you knew that it is clean, just use that one just to open the door. That's what I'm doing. Does that make sense?
Yeah, totally. So
Mm.
there's a lot of things that we have to, a lot of the habits and procedures we have to hammer in our heads because one, and as I'm not trying to scare anyone, but like one misstep, it could cost you. So these are the steps that can highly lessen the chances of spreading a
Yes,
virus.
it is.
So we have to make sure that we have all these habits to the T because it's just overall just a better peace of mind.
Yes, it is. And once you got home, please make sure you wash your hands and
Yeah,
don't talk to anybody, don't touch to anything. Just go to the nearest washroom that you have and wash your hands, because
yeah,
yes, you sanitize your hands. Yes, you have your wipes, but you never know, right?
yeah.
You never know there is still virus, because this virus you cannot see it by your naked eye. So we want to make sure that our family is safe through us. And as much as possible, only one person can go to the essential establishments, like going to grocery store, going to a pharmacy just to get the medicine, because this is very critical. So even in our clinic, when I'm there 3 years ago, we are very critical to everything, even on how you handle foods. We need to be very careful, because for every one move or for every one mistake, maybe you might put the risk to your family member or your colleague. Yes, that's why it's very critical, and make sure we're very knowledgeable about this one, because this virus is extraordinary. Like, you can kill people because of this one.
Yeah. So let's say I'm coming back home from the grocery stores and I head to the washroom and wash my hands. Then of course I would need to get disinfecting wipes and go back to the doorknobs and wipe that down as well. So on top of that, would I also have to throw my shoes and my hoodie into the wash machine as well?
Yes, that's a good thing. And because for us, because sometimes our laundry is very far to our place, so sometimes our stuff is, we never know, right? Because we wear our jackets or something. Usually me, uh as a protocol for my own home, once I get in, I have a big bin there, and we put all our stuff there and make sure there's a lid on it, so that nobody will touch. And on the door, make sure you have your alcohol, hand sanitizer, and hand wipes. At least on that door, you already lessen the virus that might come to
Mm,
you, right?
okay.
Because this virus is airborne, so you never know which is come from. It might be somebody sneeze you which you're not aware, or somebody touches something which you're not aware. So you want to make sure when you're on the door, make sure you have that stuff already.
Mm, okay. Interesting. And
Mm-hmm.
so I know there's a lot of misconceptions out there and a lot of things that people would probably disagree with you on. So what are the things that do you hear the most that's a misconception, and what's the truth that you agree with them for?
Okay, because at that time when I clean some places, they saw me that I am using these handmade masks, but this mask is not ordinary one,
Okay.
because this one is has double filter. Usually before, we're using N95 masks to
Yeah.
do some cleaning, like move out cleaning, post construction cleanup. But because of this limited supply, so we need to find ways how to do it. So when I researched about the Spanish flu in 1920, they're using the cloth to protect themselves from the virus. So I studied that one, what kind of cloth they use to protect themselves, and with the help of my mom. So she has been a seamstress for 30 years. So I asked her to make me this kind of a facial mask so that it can help me to protect me while I'm doing cleaning. And of course, as time goes by, I hate procrastination. So as much as possible, I want to help people to protect them these viruses. So it's it's not a 1 day process that you knew already how to proper disinfecting. That's why I research the proper suit that we're using. That's why now I studied this one. We're using the tvec suit cover all with a half face mask with HEPA filter. Actually, this respirator is limited stock as well, and I'm so
Yeah.
grateful to you, to the universe, because he left me to HEPA filter half mask in one of the depot stores. So I'm so grateful for that one. And we're using the disposable gloves and disposable shoe cover. And while I'm launching this disinfecting services, we will use the hospital grade disinfectant cleaner and a high grade non bleach detergent cleaner. So it's very on what I apply, on what I did on proper sanitation in the surgeon's office that I've done before. I'm gonna do it as well in residential, and in commercial as well. Just want to make sure nobody will get sick, and of course, prevention's better than cure, right?
That's right.
And
Yeah.
yeah, so want to make sure that our house or even our offices, like essential offices, make sure this one will be disinfect for every like as much as possible once a day, because these viruses are stayed for 2 to 3 days.
2 to 3 days. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, so in terms of commercial services, who are the best people, and who are the kind of people that you serve in terms of the commercial space? Like, who are the kind of industries or companies that would be best suited for taking on your services?
Okay. Since I've done this one, free disinfecting services, so I've done this one already with nonprofit organization such as Drive Happiness, because they're still operational and they're helping seniors to get a free ride to the essentials establishments like pharmacies. So that is one, and then another one is contracting companies.
Yeah.
So that is another target because they're still open, and grocery stores. So I add up that one as well, grocery stores, and then pharmaceutical stores, because that's the one that they're open still, and other essential services that the government instructed to do it.
Okay. Awesome. Awesome. And what is the best way to reach you in terms of taking on your services, or just overall inquiring about more information about what you can do to help them out with?
Sure. We have a website. It's in www.canajaninc.com. And we have a link there that if you want to book an appointment or ask for estimates about our new disinfecting services. And we have a Facebook page as well. It's a Canajan Inc. Just search Canajan Inc. And we have a link there as well if you want to book an appointment. And we're following whatever the CDC says, because we're
Wow.
only
Yeah.
relying to them. So even the chemicals that we're using, it is all approved by CDC. So
Okay.
we are very particular on every item that we're using.
That's really good. Really, really good. So, for those of you who are currently listening to this video right now, we'll drop the link somewhere down in the description or in the comment section, and that way you can follow her page, check out her website, or even give her a quick message. And then that way it'd be kind of easier for you to reach out to her, because this is a very, very big thing, and I'm super happy to have an expert on board in terms of health and safety and cleaning. So, yeah, I believe is there do you think there's any other things that the audience needs to know about cleaning right before we wrap up this video?
Of course. Thank you so much, Kim, for this opportunity for me to speak. I know it's hard to trust to
Mhm.
anybody who can they get in into their home, and I really understand it. And it is one of the rules of the government to do the social distancing. But we have a very particular rules on how we follow the social distancing, and we really believe that we're one of the solution to our problem is to kill these viruses
Yes,
and to help more people not to get sick. So it's a heavy heart for me to, some people get sick and they're not know what's going on, but this one is very serious. So as much as possible, stay at home, and if anybody can do it for you, just let them do it for you, because you may risk your life, not only your life but also those who surrounds you. That's only I can say.
definitely. And those are really, 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 really true points that Lorephil brings up. So, yeah, thank you, everyone. Thank you again for listening to this. Cleaning, sanitization, and just overall, just building the strong habits to, to better prevent than to cure so that we can get through this together. So, thank you, everyone, again. And yeah, check out the links in the description below so you can reach out to Canajan Inc.
Thank you so much, Kim, and have a good day. Happy Easter as well.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, guys.
Bye.